7th, 2021. Happy birthday, Ann, my granddaughter. We're on the ferry leaving Plattsburgh, heading for Grand Isle, Vermont. Gonna spend the day in Vermont. Leaving Plattsburgh and heading for Grand Isle, Vermont. This ferry runs every 20 minutes. It's about a 15-minute ride. And there's one of the ferries coming back from Grand Isle, Vermont. This is Lake Champlain we're crossing. Ferry service on this route is very frequent, like runs every 20 minutes. Runs around the clock. Maybe not every 20 minutes, but it's pretty frequent. A lot of commerce between Plattsburgh, New York, and Vermont. Ferry service on this route is very frequent, like runs every 20 minutes. Runs around the clock. Maybe not every 20 minutes, but it's pretty frequent. A lot of commerce between Plattsburgh, New York, and Vermont. There's another ferry. You can see how frequent this service is. They're quite a large fleet of vessels. One is called the Evans Walcott. Beautiful Lake Champlain. This is the main ferry system from New York to Vermont. There's one from Fort Kent to Burlington, but that's been suspended. I would have thought it would have been back in service, since this area is pretty much heavily vaccinated. Vermont is the most heavily vaccinated state in the country. About 80 to 90% of the population are vaccinated. It's great to go to a state like that. Yeah, all too soon we're coming into Grand Isle, Vermont. Well, we're now in the railroad town of St Albans, Vermont. It's the headquarters of the New England Central Railroad, a Genesee and Wyoming company which owns lots of railroads in the United States and Canada and around the world. And this magnificent structure is the headquarters building. Headquarters for the New England Central and the Central Vermont Railway before it. This building was completed in 1867. It's colossal. It's a dispatching center for many Genesee and Wyoming railroads, not just this one. Get an excellent view of this facility. It's right next to the St Albans Amtrak station, which is served by the Vermonter between here and Washington, D.C. Service had been suspended for about a year or so due to the pandemic, but it was revived in July of this summer. We'll be here all day and into the evening. We're hoping to catch the arrival of the Vermonter, as well as some New England Central freight action. This is a hub for them, and there's a yard here called Italy Yard, and there's an engine facility here. From any angle, this structure is colossal. One of the classic railroad structures you'll find in the United States, if not the most classic structure in the U.S. As you can see, it's a gorgeous day today, about 65 degrees here. And autumn is starting to bust out all over here in northern Vermont. And here's the station sign for St. Albans on the New England Central. This is the Amtrak station at St. Albans. The Vermonter between DC and St. Albans operates once a day each way. Comes in tonight around 8:45 p.m.
Yeah, that's not pretty. That's not bad at all. Wow.
We're parked by the Elm Street crossing just to the northwest of St. Albans. We're looking into the engine terminal. Lots of EMD power sitting there. Activity you can see here, well, there's a chip train that runs down to Burlington to serve a power plant with wood chips, Burlington Electric. He goes down in the morning. I was hoping maybe I might see the return empties coming by early this afternoon. Maybe a Canadian National 324 coming down from Taschereau Yard in Montreal. Canadian National's train interchanges with New England Central's train 324, which heads south to Brattleboro and Parma, Massachusetts. Now we moved up to Brigham Street at the north end of Italy Yard. Looking south into the yard. It's actually more like east into the yard. At this location, CN 324 and 323, those are the road freights between Taschereau Yard and Montreal and St Albans, pass by here. I don't see any indication that they've been around. I don't see any CN power here. It's all New England Central power in the engine pit. The yard here is called Italy Yard, like the country. As you can see, it's a beautiful day here. Looking north, the sign down there where the yard tracks join the main is North Junction. Time is 3:23 p.m. The gates are going down on Lake Street, right in front of the New England Central headquarters. We got a northbound coming in. He's got one of those Salvation Army bells on him. Can't get away from them. This is train 500, the empty Burlington Electric chip train. Goes south. Yep, that was train 500, the wood chip train. He picks up wood chips out of a quarry around Swanton, north of here, and heads down to Burlington to serve a power plant at Burlington Electric that burns wood chips. And he's heading back with the empties, and the power should be coming back to Italy Yard Light. Now we'll take a little walk around historic St. Albans. Here's a nice historic pickup truck here, Dodge. Looking north on Main Street in St. Albans, this is US Highway 7. which runs up from Norwalk, Connecticut to the Canadian border. And as you can see, it's a gorgeous day, Indian summer type day. It's about 70 degrees here. Normally it's quite chilly in these parts. And right alongside Main Street is this lovely park, Taylor Park. Lots of autumn foliage here. What a lot of people don't know is the northernmost battle in the Civil War was fought right here in St Albans. Confederate troops came down to here from Canada, or what would be Canada, and created all kinds of mischief. They robbed the bank, took a lot of money. They wanted to burn the town down, but it had rained a lot here the previous few days, so they were unsuccessful doing that. Well, they fled to Canada with the money, but they were caught by militia and forced to return it to the bank here at St Albans. Four o'clock and all is well. 'Those lovely bells are from St. Luke's Episcopal Church. Looking south on Route 7, historic downtown St. Albans, Vermont. Moved to the Elm Street crossing, just east of Italy Yard and west of the engine terminal, waiting for number 500's light engine to come back to the facility. And here he comes at 4:57 p.m. 500's light power returning to the service facility here. He's ringing his Salvation Army bell. There must be a new fad in railroad bells. Jeep 38-2 and that bright orange Genesee and Wyoming paint scheme.
Well, they keep it nice and clean.
EMD is wild here. Well, just had a nice dinner. A little pricey though, but the food was good at Jeff's restaurant. Served seafood, spirits, dessert. Very nice. And this is Main Street, St Albans at night. Kind of quiet down a little bit. It was a delightful day. Still kind of warm, not too much wind. Getting ready to see Amtrak come in. The Vermonter from DC, he's doing about 8:50 tonight. And soon after, hopefully, we'll see New England Central 324 depart for Brattleboro, where it becomes train 611, headed for Palmer, Massachusetts. And here we see the New England Central headquarters building here, the old train depot, built in 1867, a haunting edifice at night. Used to be a train shed alongside of this building. Used to go over the tracks here. Of course, there was more than one track here years ago in Central Vermont days. Back in steam days, the train shed was filled with smoke. Yeah, I have memories of this place going back to, well, September 30th, 1972. It was a Saturday morning, a very foggy, misty day, kind of rainy. I rode on Amtrak's first Montrealer, which left New York on the 29th of September. Got here the next morning. Got into Montreal at 12:45 in the afternoon on the 30th. We stopped here. Back in those days, they changed crews from CV to CN crews here. Customs inspection was done over at the border in Canada at Kantic. The southbound train, which was the Washingtonian, had their customs inspection here, and they were changed from CN to CV crews. That first Amtrak Montrealer that I rode, the lead unit was E8 number 4036, and he had a whopping consist of 14 cars. And approaching at 9:10, he's about 20 minutes late, is Amtrak 56, the Vermonter, finishing up his long journey from Washington, D.C. How you doing up there?
How about you?
All right. Are you one of the dispatchers?
Yep.
Are they running 324 in the local tonight?
Yeah, they're running down to Montpelier, I guess.
What time's he going to get out, both of them? Or is it just one?
They'll probably be after right here. So after Amtrak gets in, they'll probably get a track or go south.
All right, cool.
miss you. Does he? Wow.
See the conductor talking to the dispatcher on the stairway up there.
All right.
He advised they're going to run a couple of trains out of here. Get track warrants for a 324 and a local down to Montpelier.
See ya.
Into the yard he goes. He'll wire the train and he'll pull out tomorrow morning at 9:15. It's train 55 for DC. Nice horn on him. You can hear him blowing for Elm Street down near the yard. On that GP38 that came in on 500. He's doing some switching. That might be the local power right there. Yeah, that light engine you saw, I was advised by an employee here, that was a local. He's probably going to go down to Burlington. And it's 9:35. We're waiting for 324 to depart for Brattleboro, and that light engine that departed was 502 for Burlington. This old building has quite a responsibility when it comes to the Genesee and Wyoming Foundation of Railroads. Genesee and Wyoming owns loads of railroads in the United States and Canada. A crew caller told me that they dispatch 111 railroads out of this building. And here he comes at 9:55. That couldn't have been 324. Let's listen to that horn again. Note that green Mountain Jeep 9 in the consist. He's going to be dropped off at Montpelier. Well, evidently that was train 324 with the light engines. There was no CN connection today. So observers I know said they've never seen it with a light engine, but it had to be, because after it pulled out, I checked the yard, nothing was left, nothing was happening. Well, we had an interesting day in St. Albans today, catching the rail action and enjoying that nice historic city in gorgeous weather. Now we're on the ferry, leaving Grand Island, Vermont, and heading for Plattsburgh, New York, to end our day, and a great day.